as provided for in the standing orders. If the quorum is not achieved at the lapse of those 10 minutes, a further 5 minutes will be on as how the speaker will direct. And as provided for in the House standing order, if the quorum is not achieved at the lapse of the quorum bells, the 2 rounds of the quorum bell, then the sitting will be adjourned to the next. So what we will be seeing now until then, that is, once the bell is off, then it will be members making their way into the chambers. The sergeant at arms are also keeping tabs with the members who will be making their way into the chambers, and once that number is achieved, then the House will, without any further delay, commence its business over the day, or for this morning, or for that matter. A debate on the report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget of the Senate nominees on behalf of the county governments to the position of members of the Salaries and Remuneration Commission, SRC, a motion that was moved by the Chairperson Standing Committee on Finance and Budget, and whose debate already began on the floor of the House on the 6th of August, that is a Tuesday, that is yesterday, in the afternoon sitting. This particular motion seeks to have the Senate adopt its report that was laid on the table of the Senate on Tuesday, 23rd July 2024. And pursuant to the Article 232B of the Constitution and Section 7.2 of the Salaries and Remuneration Commission Act, recommend Ms. Lynette Washiali Muganda and Mr. Mohamed Aden Abdi to the Cabinet Secretary for the National Treasury and Planning for transmission to His Excellency the President for consideration for appointment to the position of member of the Salaries and Remuneration Commission. This is a motion that debate started on the floor of the House, with the members having reservations over the whole process, some of them agreeing with the report of the committee, but some holding some reservations that business was not concluded on the Tuesday afternoon sitting and was moved to this morning sitting, as having been directed by the Speaker yesterday in the afternoon sitting. So this motion will have its debate resume, with some of the directions will be made clear for the members to understand whether that whole process will be resumed or whether they will be adopting that report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget with regards to the nominees to the position of member of Salaries and Remuneration Commission. Well, if you're just joining us, is that the House, as you can see on your screens, is that it lacks the required quorum for the business of the day to commence. And as provided for in the House standing order, is that if at the commencement of House business, the members are not 15, at least 15, seated inside the chambers, then that would mean that the House has not achieved its required quorum, and that will necessitate the quorum bell to be on for 10 minutes for the members to be able to make their way into the chambers. Earlier on, you realize that there were no members inside, but as of now, we have seen members making their way into the chambers. That I have seen Honorable Godfrey Osotsi. I've also seen Honorable Enoch Wambua. That is the majority leader also, who has already made his way into the chambers. We're expecting to see more members make their way into the House. Remember, the quorum is 15, and we are looking for that particular number if the House is to begin or commence its business for this morning's sitting. Remember, this is a Wednesday that has been devoted to motions. Normally, or as has been the tradition, is that at this Wednesday morning sitting, cabinet secretaries usually appear before the Senate chambers, of course, to respond to various concerns that have been raised by various or individual members. But you will recall that there was the issue of a dismissal of a number of cabinet secretaries who until now have been nominated and vetted, or have gone through the vetting process and are waiting for approval by the committee and the National Assembly House, and then that will give way to the presence of the cabinet secretaries at the cabinet, and that will mean that once the cabinet is set, then the members will be able to continue with the tradition of having the cabinet secretaries on the floor of the House for responding to various concerns as raised by the members. But now that there has not been cabinet secretaries to appear before the House, this morning has been dedicated to a number of motions that have already have had their debate already kick off on the floor of the House, or they will also be beginning debate on them this morning. One of those motions include the motion on the report of the 66th Commonwealth Parliamentary Conference that was held in Accra, Ghana from 30th September to 6th October 2023. This is a motion that was moved by the Honorable Senator Professor Margaret Kamar, and this is a motion whose debate already started on the floor of the House. And this morning, members will be resuming debate on this particular motion. It was interrupted on the Wednesday of the 24th of July, the year 2024. This morning, once this business starts, then the motion will be resuming its debate. The members of the Senate will also this morning consider the reports of the Select Committee on County Public Investments and Special Funds, on its consideration of the audit reports of various water service companies for the financial years 2018, 2019, 2020, and 2020-2021. This is a motion that is moved by the Chairperson, Committee on County Public Investment and Special Funds, and it will be seeking to have the House adopt its report that was laid on the table of the Senate on Wednesday, 29th May, the year 2024. A look at some of these water service companies include the Busia Water and Sewerage Services Company Limited, the Iten Tabach Water and Sewerage Company Limited, Kirinyaga Water and Sanitation Company Limited.
Honourable members, be upstanding. There being no quorum, and having rung the bell pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 42, the Senate stands adjourned until today, Wednesday, 7th of August 2024 at 2:30 p.m.
generation awakens on Y254, the leading youth TV station in Kenya. We treat you to current affairs, entrepreneurship, health, and human interest conversations